No, that has no THC in it.
And that, I guess I'm wondering, like for severe aggression,
So that would be,
you're leaning more towards THC.
yes. For severe aggression, what I would do is incorporate an indica, because what indica does is it knocks that amped up level right down to the couch. You know, and then you can adjust it in between to where he has some activity level, but it's not super aggression. And that's what the indica would be superb for, because it just makes you feel like a couch potato, like you just want to sit down and watch TV, you know.
So while you wait, say to get into these appointments and get the card and everything, I mean,
yeah, you
it
can
would still be beneficial to start
on the CBDs,
on the CBD.
right?
So you just
Yeah.
first something.
Because you might find that it has some relief. You may find that that's some of those receptors in the anger part of his or her brain would knock some of that down a little bit. So I would definitely start on the CBDs and then try to incorporate an indica. And we can do that through candies or through however you wanted to do it. Like we could customize a package. We also have capsules too. That's as easy as popping a capsule. So but we have some kids have hard time swallowing. So yeah.
Well, they're about to put them on his 9th different medication.
Oh wow.
So I'm like, no.
Yeah, let's time out for a second and try, because they're just shooting, they're just closing their eyes and throwing darts at the wall. And when you come back and say that worked, they're gonna be like, oh, all right, well we can eliminate this and we'll keep them on the, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't make much sense, especially when you have somebody that can't communicate exactly what the issues are, right? Like, so at that point, when you see that, first thing you want to do is CBDs, get some medicine, but the electrolytes in the water. The electrolytes in the water are huge because a lot of that comes from dehydration. You don't know what their habits are during the day when they're not with you, right? Maybe they're not drinking the type of water that you want them to drink. So when you see those behaviors, initially water and some of the cannabis or CBD, however you wanted to treat it. But yeah, the electrolyte water is so key to the whole equation. I would suggest start them off obviously on the CBDs because those are most accessible and readily available to you. Get them into a program and start them on a sativa, because what might happen, and I don't know specifically about his condition, but with like ADD, you know how Ritalin works, right? If you don't have ADD, it gets you all zzz, but if you have ADD, it kind of calms you down and settles you right out. It may be the same instance with that, to where if we give him something that would make other people dizzy, or feel dizzy, it might straighten him right up. And you could do a couple different experiments. Maybe experiment one night or one day with tea or with some sativa, and the next day with an indica, and maybe see if maybe it's a combination of the two. You know, maybe the indica will quiet it down, and then the sativa would help with the balance. So, and that's another thing too, is based on everyone's condition, we can customize something that would fit exactly that through a capsule. Now, it's hard for us to replicate that in a plant, but what we can do is we can take plants with this characteristic, plants with that characteristic, and plants with this characteristic, mix it all together, juice it, and put it in a capsule, for lack of a better word. I mean, there's a lot more processes to it than that. But we could essentially put that plant into a capsule for you and customize it, design it specifically to whatever the needs are, and include CBDs in that same capsule. Because it's naturally in your system, there isn't anything that's going to conflict with the process of marijuana, right? No, not at all, not at all. And now what happens is some people, they claim or voice their concern about their heart, right? Because they'll perceive a change in their heart rhythm. So, and I do the same thing when I'm medicating. Is that, but what my opinion is your heart doesn't increase. Like I don't feel my heart race. I don't feel it slow down. I just feel a perceived difference in the heart. And I think that's from all the reduced in inflammation. Now your heart doesn't have to pump as hard to get the blood to the end of those capillaries. It's pumping a lot easier. So it's like a little rhythm that kind of, and then it's fine. But you can sometimes, some people will perceive that and think, oh my gosh, I'm having a heart attack. Don't ever go to the hospital after you consume marijuana, because chances are you're not having a heart attack. They're just going to say, oh, you had some marijuana. And, yeah, okay, go home. So that's usually what the prescription is. But yeah, there's no conflicting science right now that I'm aware of any medications. Now there's new medications coming out all the time, but because it's such a natural substance and your body will pass whatever it doesn't use, there's no way for you to build it up so high to where you're going to have a heart attack or pass out or anything like that. You'll just end up passing it. If you can't use it, it'll just pass it or dissipate. Not yet. Not yet, but what's happening is currently in the legislature, that may change. That may change. Yeah, well, because of the way the system's going, it's going to be now taxed. So once that system if it's going to be taxed, then it should be able to be covered by insurance. So, and that comes by voicing our opinions, right? It's calling your legislatures, your state legislators, that you want to write it off on your taxes. And, that's how all those decisions gets made, is way up there. But yeah. I will get you the name of the company that we get. We're able to buy in bulk, so we get a little bit cheaper than you would just buying it for yourself. So we're able to pass those savings on to you guys when we. They do vary. They do vary. Like that's a specific plant, you know what I mean? So it works for Skylar, obviously, but it might not work for everybody because it's each of us are as unique as all the plants are. So we have to find. I would say probably a week. You'll notice a difference right away, but after a week, you'll notice some consistent changes that you might not notice the first day. How long did it take for Skylar, Beverly, to? Right away? Yeah. So especially when it comes to sleep or anxiety or anything like that you'll be able to notice right away, you'll see a difference as soon as. Like, it doesn't take long to build up in your system before you can see a difference. If anybody's interested in candies, and everybody, what's nice about the CBDs is you don't need your card to buy them. So we have a bunch of CBD candy that we have available today. I also have topical lotion, but that's marijuana infused, so you would have to have your card for that. But yeah, I would recommend getting whoever the patient is into the doctor, though, just so they could monitor, not only just monitor the progress of the patient, but then you can also help change the opinion of that doctor. Right. By showing him firsthand or her firsthand the results that you're getting from strictly cannabis. And that's what's going to change it and become more acceptable by the medical community, is by everybody in this group speaking out to their doctors saying this works for me. And the more people say that, I think the more accepted it would be throughout the country. Yeah, what we do is all of our products that we use, not the ones that we get from another site, like that we retail for a wholesaler, we test all of our products that we make. So all of our candies, all of our cookies, all of the marijuana that I grow, that all gets tested. But if we get it from a third party, we usually don't have that tested. They usually provide us with test results. What that does is it lets you know, so say you try 4 or 5 different strains, right, of marijuana. You find one works really good, better than all 3 of the other ones. You then go to the Iron Labs website and you can look at the profile of that plant and see what the levels of the different compounds are. And then even if you can't get that same plant, you can still look for plants that have those same levels. Right, because it's, you aren't going to have access to me forever. You aren't going to have access to some of these plants forever. But if you have the base knowledge, which is what we're trying to share with you guys, you can find something out there on the market that will fit what you're looking for. So you want to find one. If you see that CBNs work for something that has high anxiety, that's the only strain that works. Look at the profile and then kind of map out. Like you can see this one's got like 10% THC and 0.1% CBN, and so that way you can go out and ask to see test results and then compare what works for you compared to what they have available. That's the best way to test results. And it also tells you that the products are clean too, because they do a pesticide test, and there's a lot of that. If anybody decides to use cannabis, you want to make sure that you see the test results, because some of the chemicals and pesticides that are used in growing cannabis, people that aren't in it for the medical reasons, that are out just to make the money, could have an adverse effect on the health of your child. because of the
Or
pesticides.
Miracle-Gro.
Yeah. You don't want Miracle-Gro in your system, you know. So we use all natural worm castings, worm tea. It's all 100% organic is how we grow. So. Well, if you want to try, a week usually is enough time to see the results. Like with Skylar, he saw it almost immediately, so it might not even take a week. But going at it a week, and I would suggest this to everybody, unless it's really adverse, give it a week just to see. It might be a different reaction 4 days from the initial dose. You know, it might take a while to build up in their system to where it levels them out. Like I said, you want to get them up to that plateau and then ride that plateau out. And then every time you dose, you go up to that plateau and then level it out through the day. So that's what everybody's working on. You know, I tell everybody that because the government doesn't put any R&D into marijuana, we are the R&D, the research and development. That's what we're doing. So everybody that I work with, I try to get feedback so that way I know a little bit more going into the next one. So by providing feedback to whoever your caregiver is, whoever you're getting it from, we'll do nothing but to help improve the process for everybody. So make sure that you do that. Give us feedback, you know, give your doctor feedback. Like if you're gonna get into the program, you're kind of a trend setter. You know, not everybody's doing it right now. But yeah, it's a tremendous product, and I believe wholeheartedly in it. You know, I wasn't a stoner in high school per se, so you know, getting into this now and learning it from it's given me a really good appreciation of it, and it with as many people as we've helped. I mean, I've probably got close to 400 or 500 case studies under my belt, so I've seen a lot of it work in different aspects in different people's lives. So. Whatever the issue is, I'm sure that I've seen it before, and if I haven't, we'll work really hard to figure it out and get you the relief that you need, and your child too, because it's really important. You know, like I said, they're angels, and they need to. I wish we could give them some relief, and so they could live a peaceful life, and that's what it looks like we're doing with this product. So all right, we will cut it short. Thank everybody for coming out today. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to working with you in the future. Thank you.